probably want to know when you join a company is how to get the perks that you always see everybody post about. Am I right? So right now we're going to talk about one of the trips that SeneGence offers, which is called the LIPS trip. LIPS trip. LIPS stands for League of Independent Personal Sponsors. So this trip is all based around sponsorship within the company. It's all based around building a team, getting people in to work their business, and helping people change their lives. Because that is a big part of how you're going to be able to make things happen for you. One of the leaders in the company said at this last training that I went to that if you want to get anything in this business, work for the LIPS trip, because then everything else will fall in place. And I got to thinking, yeah, that's totally true. And so this is something that I think is the most important thing that you can work for in this company, because if you're working on the LIPS trip, chances are the checks, the car, the other trips, the other ranks, the incentives will all fall into place. All of that we can talk about later, because right now we are focusing on the LIPS trip. So the LIPS trip qualification period goes from October 1st to September 30th, and it is during the leader's calendar year. That is the qualification period, the leader's year, all right? So to get this LIPS trip that takes place every January, it is all based on the people you sponsor. You have to sign people up within that leader's year, and then you have to get them ordering. You have to get them out working their business, because that is the only way that you get your points. So when I say points, what am I talking about? Points. You have two options to earn points. You have an option 1 and an option 2. But option 1, you have to be able to earn points for yourself before you can even care about option 2. Because option 1 is your trip, your ticket to the LIPS trip. And option 2 is for your guest that only gets to go if you get to go, all right? So you need 50,000 points for you to go, and you need 50,000 points for your guest to go also. And how you get those points is based on the people that you sign up during the qualification period and the amount that they order, all right? So I sign up one person, she places 300 PV, that's 300 points for me. That's 300 points that I have towards my LIPS trip. But I need 50,000 of them. So how am I going to get that? I'm going to sponsor more people, and I'm going to teach them all how to order, because their orders are what gets me on the LIPS trip. Are you following? Is this making sense? So each person also only has a 1,500 cap for each quarter. So if I sign up a killer rock star girl and she places 1,500 PV every single month since she signed up, I only get 1,500 points. So basically, if she orders 1,500 the first month, she's capped out for that quarter. And the quarters are broken up into October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, okay? So those are the quarters, and I can only get 1,500 points per new distributor per quarter. So you need to sign up a lot of people and make sure that they're all ordering so you can max out your points and really get everything that you need to qualify for these trips. You have a whole year to do it, so if you get recruiting early and you get these people working the business early, then you're gonna be able to qualify for the LIPS trip, no problem. No problem at all. Okay, so that's for you. You need 50,000 points, and those 50,000 points for you can only come from the people that you personally sponsor. So this falls on you to get to work, for you to go recruit, for you to train these people how to run their business. All right, then for option 2, for your guest, whether it be your mom, your sister, your husband, your wife, whoever it may be, your guest also needs 50,000 points. But the cool thing about this one is the points from my sponsors can spill over. So if I hit the 50,000 at month 4, then the rest of my points that I get the rest of the year, so the other 8 months out of the year, can go towards my level 2. So my option 2, my guests to come. But also the people that my first line sponsor in the second month count towards my level 2. Does that make sense? So if I'm sponsoring at least 3 people a month and I'm teaching all my girls to sponsor at least 3 people a month, I will probably qualify for option 2 a little bit faster because it's only 50,000 points there also. But again, it's like the same thing I explained over here, but this level counts my people and my level 2 girls, my tier 2 girls that are sponsored in by my personal first line. Does Does that make sense? So my first line, the people I sponsor count towards my option 1, and then my first line and my second line counts towards option 2. You following? It's a little confusing. So then once you get these 50,000 points for you and for your guests, then you're qualified as far as points. But there are a few other things that you have to do in order to go on the trip. And those things are, you have to be an on-track field leader and have signed SeneGence. If you want to learn about SeneGence, you got to go watch another video because that's a whole nother thing. But it is important to be able to have that signed to go on this trip. You also need to make sure you have no issues with compliance, and you need to go to at least 2 trainings leading up to the LIPS trip. There's 4 trainings that SeneGence holds every year. There's Pit Stop in January, there's Seminar in April, there's another Pit Stop in July, and there's Leaders in October. You need to go to at least 2 of those 4 trainings to be able to qualify to go on this trip. I believe that they recommend going to Seminar and Leaders very first because those are going to be the ones that build your business the most, but Pit Stop is another great option. I highly recommend making sure you're at Seminar and Leaders. Those trainings have changed the way I think about my business. You get the chance to really hear from a lot of the top leaders and the executives in the company. I just think they're wonderful trainings and they really get to the nitty-gritty of your business. Pit Stop is more focused on product knowledge or on media, and so these other 2 are focused on like the grand scheme of things, and then the Pit Stops are really geared towards certain parts of the business. But you need to go to at least 2 of those trainings. All of the information on this can be found on your back office once you sign up, but this video is going to be able to help you really understand the basics of what it takes to qualify for these trips, all right? So the LIPS trip happens every January. They've gone to Rome, they've gone to the Bahamas, next up is Costa Rica, and they just announced the 2019 trip, which is Australia, which I'm super pumped about because I can promise you, I will be there. I will never miss a trip again in my life because they are life-changing. You get to spend this like downtime, like a cool vacation with people that get what you're going through. They get the business, they get everything, and so not only does it turn into a nice relaxing time, but it like recharges you for the business in a way you never thought possible. And you're there with the executives. You're eating dinner with Joni, with Chris, with Leslie. You're enjoying this time, talking to them, spending time with them, and really getting to rub shoulders with the people that are helping you change your life. So without a doubt, you want to be on these trips. You want to be working towards the LIPS trip. You want to be working towards SeneStar, which if you want to learn about that, you got to head over and watch the other video. These trips are easy to earn if you are going to put the work in. So you might as well put in the work, get it out, and then you can have free family vacations forever, which sounds awesome to me. So LIPS trip, it's so exciting. It's all based around who you sponsor, what you sponsor, and how you train them. So if you get out sponsoring right now, then you can be on the next LIPS trip with me, and I'll see you there.